Namaste. Welcome to Buddha's teaching. Today's topic, stress. I know that's the popular word these days. Who doesn't have stress, right? We all have stress in our lives, okay? Big, small, every day. Whatever that we encounter, okay, we always seem to have issue. So, stress. There are two kinds of stress. One is physical and one is mental. Okay, so we have physical stress that has to do with the well-being of our body. For example, let's say you young couples raising families and you have a newborn baby, for example. Now, as we all know, newborn baby requires a lot of attention, okay, and so because of that, new parents many oftentimes if they don't have any help from relatives, from mother, from parents, and or their sibling to help out, if they just husband and wife and taking care of the newborn baby, as you can imagine, it requires a lot of work, right? Newborn baby requires a lot of attention, and that can put a lot of stress on our body because you are constantly on the move, always paying attention to the baby, and because of that, you the young parents do not have enough rest. Okay, they are very anxious, very nervous, worry, and because they want to make sure that the baby is good, it's okay. So as a result, they're putting a lot of stress on their body. Lack of sleep, okay, turns into stress, turn also into mental stress, give them anxiety and all that. So that is the stress that we have on our body. And how do we handle that kind of stress? As we all know, body and mind, they interact with each other, right? And so we're going to talk about mental stress a little later. But so we have to make sure that even though we have stress, even though we on our body, on the health of the physical body, we have to understand, we have to make sure that it does not affect our mind. Okay, what does that mean? It means that yes, normally when we are tired, when we are exhausted, we as human being we tend to be a little bit moody, right? We tend to get angry fast because of lack of sleep, because of being so tired, okay, and because of that it affects the mental process. It gives us a lot of headache, a lot of issue, and oftentimes because of that, young parents can get into argument very easily because the being tired get them into a mood that is easily agitated. So there is not many ways to handle this. Okay, when it comes to physical stress, whether it comes from overwork, or something similar to the situation, to the scenario that I have just described, you need to find help. Okay, there is no other way. Because if you don't have help from other people, and you're facing situation, you're facing a scenario that you would have to be able to take care of another person, or to take care of something that requires a lot of energy. Okay, without others help, you will get yourself into that into the fatigue a lot of time. And yes, it's difficult, and unless you can find help, there isn't a, a any way that you can get away from that from the physical stress, because it's something that requires you to expand your energy, right? The physical energy. So that's why one of the things, especially like the example that I brought up is about raising newborn baby, is that there's a funny phrase that they say, when you to the young couple who are ready to who wants to have children. There's a funny saying that once you have children, you don't have life anymore, which is true. Okay, which is very true. Once you start a family, having baby, okay, your life is sort of like put aside. Okay, unless you have help from parents or your brothers and sisters or whoever, okay, to help out, especially even during the day, so that you can take naps and all that. Other than that, the physical strain that is being put on from the requirements is tremendous. So just be prepared, okay, for that. If you're a young couple who are looking to have children. So physical stress is like that. Okay, when it comes to stress with the body, you have to find time for the body to relax. Okay, like another example, physical stress that we put on ourselves, people going on the road trip and things like that, getting ready or prepare, all the things. There are people who seem to overthinking of what to do, and that because of that they are moving around a lot, and that's physical stress. So so moving too much is something that we need to be aware of, that okay, I'm putting too much stress on my body, need to relax. Another quick example is working overtime, working too much, instead of because every engine needs cool time, right? Cooling off time. As human being, we cannot work 7 days a week. We need to have breaks, all right, so that the body can recharge. Otherwise, the body will become so stressful, okay, because the body have no time to relax. So I know a lot of, especially in this country, in the Western country or in developed country, a lot of big companies, they hire young people who just graduated from colleges or university, especially like in the high-tech job, like in the AI industry and all that. And because competition is fierce, they require fresh blood, right? In a way, they require people who have a lot of energy, because it requires a lot of attention, a lot of work, and they look for young people who can endure the stress for maybe 2, 3, or 4 years, right? And most of the time, those graduates, those new workers, they got burned out very fast. After working 12, 13, 14 hours a day, no rest, not enough sleep, not good nutrition, don't eat good, and even work on the weekend. So, that's a physical stress that is really, really tough. And the only way to handle that kind of stress that you put on the body is to let go of some of the workloads, right? And because of that, people change job. After 2 or 3 years, they said, okay, I cannot do this anymore, or I don't have any more family lives and things like that. The other stress, the other physical stress. Let's say you start out a company, okay, start out a business. So when a small business, when you run a small business, most of the time, people got burned out within a couple of years. Why? It's because of the physical stress that the business requires, right? When you have a small business, you work 7 days a week, no vacation, no stop, no rest time. So there has to be a trade-off, somewhere. But the only way out, the only way to take care of that stress is to let go of some of the work, okay? And if you cannot, then you can have health issue if it continues, a little any longer. So that is something to keep in mind when it comes to the physical stress. You need another body or tool to help out. Okay, there is no other solution, right? So that's physical stress. Now, mental stress. What gives us mental stress, or who give us stress, right? So we have stress from work, right? So we have stress, or stress or issue, right? In a way, because if it's not an issue, then it doesn't become a stress for us. So it is some kind of issue that we have, okay, regarding what or regarding who, okay. So when it comes to people, okay, so the people who can give us stress, right, that can give us issue, right. So those people, who are the people who normally give us issue, who normally give us stress, it's normally people who are very close to us, okay. It's not anyone that we don't know, or people who we hardly have any contact with. There's no way. So people who give us issue, people who give us stress, okay, are the people who are close to us. Our spouse, okay, our children, right, our brothers and sisters, believe it or not, right, our parents, okay, and then co-workers and neighbors, right, and it goes out and out like that. But the people who are close to us are the people who give us, believe it or not, give us the most stress, give us the most issue, okay. So for example, you have children, and you tell your children to do something, or your children do things that is that should not, he or she should not be doing. So that give you issue, right? Give you issue, give you stress, okay. Your spouse, okay? Your husband or your wife, they do things that not according to what you like. So you're having some kind of, okay, awkward moment. You have some kind of situation with your spouse. So that gives you stress, right? Now, who else? Your parents. Oh yeah, your parents. Sometimes your parents can be, of a power figure in a way, right? They are the authority of the family, the patriarch of the family, and they tell children what to do. And oftentimes, if you don't agree with your parents and or whatnot, then the parents can give you issue. Okay, so they can give you stress, right? So your brothers and sisters, they also give you stress, right? A lot of time, brothers or sister doesn't matter, okay? They are all human, and human always, of course, we all have our own way of thinking, our own way of feelings, okay? Even twins still have different ideas and opinion, right? So when it comes to your sibling, of course, there can be issue that you can run into, and they can give you headache, and that creates stress in your life. Okay, your co-workers. Okay, your co-workers can also give you stress because they are not cooperating in the teamwork, or let's say sometimes you say they are lazy, they don't do what they're supposed to do, or they keep goofing off and things like that. So all of that gives you issue. Okay, they're not helping out, or they are doing things behind your back, or that's as you would think, or he or she is a doesn't understand you or your boss, right? Doesn't understand the employees and all that. So they give you stress at work, right? So these are all difficult situations. As you look around, the mental stress is that we encounter, that we endure, that we receive on a day-to-day basis. Stresses are everywhere, right? So all of these scenarios that I've described here, right? Of course, it's not all of them. These are just some of the examples that I'm covering here. Okay, so all these people that are giving you stress, okay, your children, your spouse, your parents, okay, your friends, your co-workers, your neighbors. So all of these people, they are close, right? They are close people. They're not somewhere, in the next village. They're not somewhere in the next county or in the next state. Or these are people who you have contact with, like on a regular basis, okay, or quite often enough. So these people here who are close to you, who are in contact with you, these are the people who are giving you stress. Okay, so from your point of view, okay, these are the what we call difficult to handle, difficult people, because they give you stress. Okay, so what is it that how is it that we're going to handle all these different kinds of things that's happening, whether with your children, your spouse, your parents, your coworker, your sibling or whatnot. How do you handle all of these different things that is happening, that is giving you so much stress, right? Mentally, okay? So think about this, right? Each individual that you encounter, that you have contact with, okay, since they all have issue, since they all seem to give you problem, they give you issue, right? Difficult things to handle, okay? Now, normally for most of the people, when they have some kind of disagreement, okay, let's say your children do something that not to your liking, okay, normally parents would yell, right? Why you do that? Okay, I told you not to do that. Okay, what is wrong with you? Okay, so that is the way, that is a normal way that we handle feeling, right, with something that we don't like. Okay, now let's say you have some kind of things going on in the family affairs, okay, financial affairs, whatever, between you and your brothers or sister or your parents, or inheritance or whatnot, right? It has to do with some kind of money, for example, okay, because a lot of time it happens like that, and you have issue, okay, and then you have argument or things like that, okay. So normally, when you have disagreement between whoever, your brother and sister, now you're at the same level, kind of, right? Because we are sibling, and people can get into argument and yelling at each other, right? That is very stressful, okay. Or sometimes when you have issue with your parents, you don't want to talk too much because you think they don't listen to you, right? It's like, oh, I can't talk to my parents, they're not going to listen to me and all that, okay, because they in a world of their own, they don't understand me, right? So that kind of things, so it's stressful. Now, how do you handle all of this, okay, to your liking, okay? Because we have stress because there's things that happen not the way we want, right? If things happen the way we want, we wouldn't have stress, right? We will be cool, good, and happy, okay? The reason that we have stress is because things that happen does not happen according to our desire. It doesn't happen according to what we think is correct, according to what we think is right, okay, according to what we think that what you deserve, what we deserve, okay, things like that. So how do we handle a different situation like this? Okay, there can be so many things, right, that can give us stress. Now, if you were trying to say to correct, let's say, your children, right, do something, you are trying, okay, you're trying to make them do whatever things that you think that is logical, that makes sense, that is right, okay. So you try to mold your children to do things according to what you want, okay. So when that's what happens, when they don't do things what you want, you become agitated, you're stressed, and so you want them to do what you want, right? So in another word, you're trying to mold them into a way, into a form that is doing things according to your liking. Okay, so that's one. And then come around, now you have your brother or your sister, okay, you have issue and stuff. So you're trying to do things, okay? You try to talk to them or do whatever. You tell them, no, do this, do that. No, no, do this. What it is that you trying to explain to them, or you try to formulate them to say or to do things according to what you want, right? And then turn around, your parents, okay? Now your parents tell you to do this or you don't want to do this, so you try to tell them, try to ask them to understand your point of view and things like that. So you're trying to make your parents to see your point, right? So you're trying to make your parents think the way that you want them to think. Okay? Now, comes to workplace. You have a co-workers or a boss that give you stress. So you have some kind of communication. You can have some kind of talk or meeting or argument. You're trying to make that person do things according to what you think that they should be doing. Okay, that's not the right thing to. So that's your co-workers. All right, and then your friends do some whatever things. So what I'm trying to show to you is this: the stress that you have, okay, in order for you to be satisfied, you're trying to mold people to do things to your liking. That's what I'm trying to get the point across to. Okay? Your children, your parents, your brothers and sisters, your co-workers, your friends, your neighbors. Okay? You're trying to change them. You try to mold them. Okay? To do whatever. Try to get them to understand the way you do. Okay? Do like this. This is how I like it. Okay? This is, and because of that, when they don't do the normal way of mind react to things, respond to things, is that you respond negatively to the different things that is happening. Okay, we respond negatively. Okay, we say, oh no, why, no, don't, and or you yell, or you become upset, or you are sad, okay, or you have anger but you don't want to talk about it. So all of the response that you have toward the interaction with different people that you have, okay, all those interactions is negative, right? They are negative. Why? It's because all of these things here don't happen according to what you our desire is. Okay, that is the problem right there. So the point is, if you want to handle stress, okay, if you want to take care of the stress that you are having, you're not going out there to try to make everybody around you that you come to contact with to do things according to what you like. Okay, you cannot go change these people, make that people do this, make your children do that, make your parent do this, make your sibling do this, your friend do this, in order for you to be happy. You do this, you do this. You can't do that. Okay, you can't you can't go around mold people to your liking. Okay, so the reason that you have stress is because things that happen not according to your liking. All right, so now the focus or is the attention need to be changed. Instead of you, let's say you are the successful person with all this that deal with these people, instead of trying to get your point across, okay, to people, instead of trying to impose the way, your logical way of thinking, or trying to show people this or that, instead of trying to get them to do according to what you think, according to what you like, flip it around and look at this one instead. Said, hey, I'm trying to change the world. This is your world. The people who you interact with, this is the world, okay? Because you will interact with more people in the future, okay? So all of these different people, this is the world right here. If you, as long as you keep trying to change the world to your liking, you will never be at peace, okay? If you want to be at peace, no stress, this is the one that you need to change, right? You don't change those people. They are who they are. The one who needs to change is this. Okay, so now you have to flip it back, say, I can't go around and change people to my liking. If somebody criticizes you, for example, okay, or your look, or your behavior, okay, of the way you work, or what and what, listen, okay, because there are times the people who criticize you because they care, right? They say they see things that you do that can that give you negative result. So the people who care, and they criticize you. And there are also people who don't really care and criticize you also. So you listen. If it's a good criticism, you say, okay, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I should do that, right? If it's not a good criticism, you just, okay, brush it off. That's okay. But you don't react, you don't respond, negatively. You don't get angry, you don't get mad because you don't like what you hear or you don't like what you see, right? So how to handle stress is to look back to, point back to yourself, okay? Because in Buddha's teaching, everything points inward, not out there, okay? It points in here. Where does stress reside? Where is stress? Stress doesn't reside with your friends, not with your children, not with your co-workers, not with your parents or siblings. Stress is within you, right? Because the desire that you have is within you, okay? So when the desire is not met, stress arises, right? So stress happens inside, not with anyone out there, okay? It's in here. So in another word, stress is an inside job, okay? It's an inside job, and it's produced by our own thinking mind, okay? The stress that we have is produced by our own thinking mind that we call ego, right? The word ego is our very own thinking mind that is producing this stress, this unhappiness, okay, toward different people when they do things not according to your liking, and you want them to change, right? Say, oh, why he act like that, or why she act like that. If she talk like this, if he walks like this, or if she behaves like this, that would be great. Then I would like that person. But right now, she is not that. She's doing things weird, right? She's awkward. So, in another word, our desire is not met. When our desire is not met, stress comes up because of our very own thinking mind. And you need to observe, okay? The thinking mind that we have is a habit, and it has a habit of repeating itself over and over and over, okay? And the repeating itself over and over and over is like creating a snowball effect that as it rolls down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger as it accumulates more snow down the hill. The same thing, the stress that we have grow bigger and bigger as this thinking mind keeps thinking about it. Okay? So you have to flip it and look back inside. It is my desire to change people. It is my desire to change the world around me that give me stress. Okay? Remember, stress is in here. Stress is not out there. Stress is in here. So this is where you need to handle stress. You don't handle stress by telling people to do things to your liking. That's not how you handle stress. You handle stress by looking at this one. You say, oh, it is because something does not happen according to what I like. Okay, so this is my inner job. It's an inner job. It's an inside job. This is the one I need to take care of. So if you can learn how to let go of this desire. Okay, so and there's different way to handle this. Learn how to let go of this desire. Learn how to let go of how you want people to change according to your liking. Okay, instead, you look at this one and say, okay, this is the one that need to change. Right? So this is the work that need to start in order to release your stress. Once you start in here, everything will unwind itself. Okay, you learn how to unwind one thing at a time, because our mind is doing a lot of winding. Now the unwinding is to look inside. Okay, look at what my desire wants. So you unwind it, right? You unwind your desire. Okay, and then when you unwind your desire, you stop imposing or asking people to do what you want. So you learn to let go all of this expectation, the attachment to things that you want. You learn to let go all of that, and instead you look at this one and say, you see, this desire, when it's not met, it creates issue within. Okay, it creates issue within when the desire is not met. So let go of the desire, then the issue will resolve and the stress will resolve itself. Okay, and after that, you can figure out different way to handle, to talk to people in a much better way, instead of doing just do things just according to what you want. That's not how you do, right? So this is how you handle stress. You look back, you look within. You have to know that stress is an inside job, and this is where it needs to be taken care of. Right? So that's what I like to share with y'all today. Until next time, I like to pay respect to the Triple Gems. I like to pay respect to the Buddha. I like to pay respect to the Dharma. And I like to pay respect to the Sangha. Namaste.